causes this? Have a look.
On the other hand?
This is a healthy individual.
Not so
Her
bad,
hand is shaking. She has no other medical conditions. All she's done is she's done some boxing training, and afterwards her hand is juddering like this. What is causing this? This is a question I was asked recently, and on the thread of comments there were many people offering different opinions as to what's happening. In this case, what we can see, this is caused by neuromuscular fatigue. Now, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but have you ever tried to do heavy squats and then tried to walk upstairs and afterwards found that your legs have turned to jelly? Have you ever tried to do heavy bench press and found your arms juddering like this? Well, that's neuromuscular fatigue. It is not lactic acid causing this problem. That is a different source of muscle fatigue. What's happened is that the nervous system has been recruiting and activating large numbers of motor neurons and contracting that muscle with as much force as possible. This is termed a gross motor activity because it is using a large number of motor neurons. A fine motor skill could be described something such as grasping or operating a remote control or writing, using much lower activation rates of those nerves, and the muscles don't have to contract as strongly or as hard. The control is much finer. So we have a gross motor skill and a fine motor skill. Now, holding your hand still like this, if it's juddering like that, that means that these nerves are still being activated. They have crossed over the threshold of activation. And eventually it subsides. It doesn't cause any harm whatsoever. It's nothing to be worried about. An interesting thing though, and I would have loved to have looked up a citation and reference for you, but I was unable to find one, but I do remember studying this. And it's very difficult to do a fine motor skill after doing a gross motor skill. I give you an example of this, and we use this in our Boxercise instructor training courses all of the time. We get people to do their sign-in sheets and we get them to do all of the administration before they do any of the punches. If we try to get them to write after they've done the punches, their writing will resemble that of a 4-year-old. It will be a mess because you can't do a fine motor skill as well after a gross motor skill. So there are some real life applications that we use it for ourselves, but that explains what is happening with the juddery hand.